Hello, today on Business Talk, we are going to talk about the business of skincare. The reputation for the best skincare has long been linked to South Korea, known for its innovative formulations and advanced technology. However, Indonesia's skincare industry is emerging and experiencing robust growth, dominating the national beauty industry with about 30% market share. Skincare dominates the Indonesian beauty industry, making up about 30% of the market, with a range of products like moisturizers, sunscreens, and specialized treatments for various skin concerns. According to Statista, the skincare market in Indonesia is projected to generate revenue of $2.76 billion in 2024. This segment is expected to grow at an annual rate of 3.7% from 2024 to 2029. Facial care leads the Indonesian skincare market, accounting for about 57% sales. Meanwhile, some Indonesian skincare products have entered the international market, proving that local skincare is competitive with global brands. One of them is a jamu-based skincare brand, which has managed to enter the US market, namely in New York. It combines natural ingredients from Indonesia with modern technology. So now let's delve deeper about the skincare industry. We're now joined with Metta Murdaya, a co-founder and CEO of Juara skincare brand in New York, with the concept of jamu and the use of natural ingredients as the main inspiration. Hi, Metta, thank you for joining us here in Business Talk. It's great to hear that we have jamu-based skincare product in New York. So tell us, what do we need to consider when it comes to running skincare wellness products, especially you started it in New York?
Yes. Definitely you have to have a reason for existing in a story as to why it's so important. And being Indonesian, growing up in New York, jamu has been so important to me because it's this holistic tradition that connects how you take care of yourself physically, but also mentally. And the beauty industry is a great place to start because what we put on our skin affects how we feel and affects how we look, and that's how mentally we thrive. So that's really what we position jamu as in the US market.
And why is the name chosen Juara? It means like champion or winner or in Indonesia, right?
I mean, wouldn't we all want to be champions
Yeah, we do.
and winners in the market? It's exactly that. I think there is a conception that cosmetics and skincare should really be for the product, but I think it's for the person. Because otherwise I'm just selling goop in a jar. But really we want people to feel like they're a juara, that they're champion of their natural beauty, that you feel wonderful about yourself. So it's really whatever you use, whatever you put on your skin should make you feel like you're championing your natural beauty. And that's what also jamu does. It makes you feel like a healthier, happier version of yourself.
Yes, that's right. So you started in New York, and the question is that, do you get your raw products or materials from Indonesia, or where about do you get the products, the materials?
That is a great question. We're inspired by the jamu tradition. So all the ingredients that we research come from ingredients that we've been using for 1,000 years. However, we do the scientific research as to which suppliers are actually the best for skincare specific products. And a lot of them we do try to source local, which interestingly enough means sourcing from the United States. It's more sustainable, you're not shipping things all over the place, and you just create products with a cosmetic grade. That's just more of the standard that we want to create it at.
Okay, what drive you to introduce jamu as part of your product line, especially in the United States, where nobody perhaps did not know about jamu?
Yes, I think it's sheer entrepreneurial grit and a good sense of ignorance and a belief that if I believe in something, I should do it. No, I joke, but the reality is I was super stressed. I was a working professional. I was climbing the corporate ladder, and I was not looking good. There was a point where I looked in the mirror and I said, wow, if I look like this now,
So this is based on your personal experience?
It is a personal experience. If I look like this now, what am I going to look like when I'm in my 40s? I'm well in my 40s now, but I thought you have to do something to take care of yourself before things go bad. So it was really a preventative story. How do we keep our own energy, our happiness, and our beauty? And the jamu tradition was a perfect fit. When I didn't see anything in the market at that time that I felt had that philosophy, but still was a premium experience, I just decided to create one based on, our own heritage.
That's right. So do you also sell it back to Indonesian markets? Because we have a big market in Indonesia as well that know jamu better than perhaps any other, citizens of the world. Where can we have your products here? I mean, do we have it here?
Yeah, so we do have it. We've actually imported our products back into Indonesia, which is interesting because it's like we're sending it back, and believe it or not, it is a premium product because it's actually an American-made product back into Indonesia. So we have the best of the tradition and best of the science. We are, though, because I do love and support this country, we are making our own products locally as well at a more accessible price point, just so we can share that tradition. We're going to be in Boots. You can find us at Shopee, Tokopedia, department stores, and we have workshops also to really educate about taking care of yourself and feeling good. So lots of experiential ways that it's here.
How does it differ when it comes to the market or your segmentations? If you compare it, the US market and the Indonesian market. I don't know if you have experience selling something in Indonesia before, because you said you grew up in America, but I mean, you are Indonesian, so you kind of know like what Indonesians are like.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's a bit like the opposite of each other. In the US, what people love or find interesting is the story of a foreign, holistic, indigenous brand and how it can kind of contribute to natural wellness. The science and the quality of the products is almost a given. If you're not, I don't compete with Indonesian products, I compete with international products. I compete with products from the US, from Korea, from Japan, you name it, because it's really, the beauty marketplace is a global marketplace. In Indonesia, it was different. We really can't sell it on jamu. So a lot of it is actually explaining to people about the actual benefits of it and that what a product made overseas, at least in the US, actually does. But one thing that is common in both of them is really the concept of championing your natural beauty. That's international. Women, men, just humans everywhere, we want to feel like a happy version of ourselves. And that message actually resonates. And now in 2024, it's even more important that we really connect that whole mind-body feeling.
So men also use your product, Juara products?
Well, skin is skin. Yes, with marketing, of course, strategically one positions, do you pick one versus the other? But no, absolutely, nowadays we have people who are both men and women and, anything.
Can you spell it's everywhere in the market, but I mean, what are the price ranges?
The price ranges, so in the US, we would say that we're considered entry-level premium, so we're not quite luxury yet. So we start at in the 30s to about $90s.
Okay.
So our sweet spot, like our serums, are around $85, $90, and just the basic core products are 30s to 40s. Of course, once it goes back into Indonesia with all the taxes and just the difference in the economic, baseline, it becomes a luxury product. The new line that we've brought in here that we've made in Indonesia hopes to bridge that gap, so it has a sense of premiumness, but also accessibility.
Okay, how do you see the consumer preferences now changing the skincare industry? We know that Indonesians especially, they are the ladies, they are very much into skincare, and particularly regarding natural and traditional ingredients.
What I see right now, just from my perspective, because I've always viewed jamu as a health tradition more than a cosmetics tradition. I view much more of a connection between your physical body and your mental body. So how you feel is very much connected to your skin. Like no matter how great your skincare products are, if you're just not feeling good, you're just not gonna look as good. And I think that message is resonating. I view ourselves as a beauty and wellness line. So in the US, we position more of feeling good through the skincare vehicle. In Indonesia, we're going that way also, so we're not competing dead on with just the skincare cosmetics market, which will, I think, hit a level of commoditization, if not now, soon.
Yeah, that's right. So you've seen Indonesian and US market products and the opportunities now for Indonesian skincare brands in the global market, if you may just spill your insights and maybe your tips.
To be honest, it's an extremely saturated and extremely competitive marketplace. Even in the US right now, it's kind of known amongst us brand owners, just amongst the industry, amongst retail, it's very, very competitive. So there does need to be a point of difference. If it's not a technological point of difference, it's a story point of difference or an experiential point of difference. The good news right now, there is a trend, a bit of the old is new, kind of because, again, of this holistic approach to well-being, stories like jamu, stories like Ayurveda, indigenous traditions do have an opportunity. This is specifically if you're coming from Indonesia, bringing the story. If you're not coming with something that's unique, I'm not going to lie, it's going to be all based on your distribution and what margins you can finagle and how much you have for marketing spend.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's a lot of entrepreneurs, especially the young ones. Do you have any advice for them, you know, these aspiring entrepreneurs to enter the industry?
I would say something that's different than I would have said to myself when I started. And now it's find your niche, find your community. The reality is the cost of distribution and expansion in this industry is just so much more expensive. So if you're an entrepreneur, find your crew, your group of people, it is a community approach, and from then grow. Once you have a certain mass, at least you have an identity of who you are, and then you can scale through that niche.
Just one last question. You also have your products in any other parts of the world? In the US and Indonesia and where else?
Also in Oceania. So we are in New Zealand and sort of by proxy in Australia.
And your next pursuit will be? And your next pursuit or your next goal?
You know, I kind of love the U.S. market.
All right.
It is really interesting. We are pursuing Oceania, but Indonesia, Oceania, and America, that's already a large population group.
That's right.
So definitely there.
That's great. So thank you so much for sharing with us, Metta Murdaya, and very good luck for Juara.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's fun. And that was our conversation on traditional Indonesian skincare going global on today's Business Talk. You can stay connected with us on Instagram, X, and YouTube. Our handle is @CTodayNews. We are also available online at ctodaynews.com. Let's stay connected.